Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Masi. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to that as soon as I can. And this is for Monsters Ball, which came out in 2001. And it's one of those things where, man, I had heard about this film for a while. I just wasn't really sure about it. But watching it, kind of regret that I didn't see this earlier, because it's a fairly good drama with some really solid performances. I can see why Halle Berry won the Oscar for Best Actress. Billy Bob Thornton stars. He's wonderful in it. You also have Heath Ledger, Peter Boyle, Puff Daddy, Diddy, he's in it, which is ironic because he plays a character who's in jail. Only in this case, he's getting ready to be executed. So I'm like, yep, he better be used to that jail cell, buddy. And it's directed by a guy named Marc Forster, which is actually the same guy that went on to direct World War Z, which I love World War Z. I actually really enjoy that film. Surprised me, but just so different compared to this. Now, the plot of the film is Billy Bob Thornton is a correctional officer with his son, played by Heath Ledger. They're in Georgia. And what they do is they get people ready to take the walk to the electric chair. In this case, Diddy, he's in jail, and his ex-wife is Halle Berry. They have a son who's a bit overweight. And she goes to see him one last time, as she puts it, listen, I'm just here so you just say goodbye to your son. And you tell that she's torn about it because, there's still something there, but at the same time, even he says, I'm sorry for hurting you so many times. And you see Billy Bob Thornton and you see Halle Berry, and they're two people that are very flawed individuals. Very flawed. You look at Billy Bob Thornton's character. When they're doing the walk for Diddy, Heath Ledger throws up because, I think that's a natural aspect. You're taking someone to their death. They may be a bit newer than other people are to these situations. He didn't do anything hurtful. He didn't do anything on purpose. But then later on, Billy Bob beats the hell out of him in the bathroom. What would you do if someone messed up your walk? And he also comes from a bad background because his dad is Peter Boyle, who lives with them, and Peter Boyle's an outright racist. And you tell that Billy Bob is influenced by his dad, wants to do what his dad wants. So, earlier, Heath Ledger has two friends who are little kids who are black. And Peter Boyle looks out the window, what are they doing there? And Billy Bob comes out with a gun and shoots in the air, scares them off. And Heath Ledger's like, what are you doing? Halle Berry is a flawed individual because she cares for her kid, but at the same time, when she finds chocolate or stuff, she hits him what, you fat, huh? You fat ass, you fat, huh? You want to stay fat? Even finds the stash, kind of pushes him a bit. He cries, and then she comforts him. So it's one of those things that you kind of have this internal struggle as a viewer where they're doing bad things, but because they're such good actors, you can tell that they're doing bad things, but deep down they're not awful people. They're just people that are just flawed individuals. And both go through their tragedy and ultimately find each other and start this bit of romance between each other. I thought Billy Bob Thornton and Halle Berry, I like both of them as actors. Billy Bob Sling Blade is a good one. Bad Santa is fun. I even don't mind the Bad News Bears. He was really good in Fargo season 1. I know he has a new show that I've seen a clip or two of. Looks pretty good. I forget what it's called. I think Land is in the title. I haven't seen it though, sadly. I've only seen clips. But I always enjoy him as an actor. Even liked him in Armageddon. Halle Berry, I've always been a big fan of. I'm one of the big defenders of Kidnap, which actually it's over there, the Blu-ray. From Canada, because that's the full cut of the film. Because in the US they have like a shorter cut for some reason, but in Canada on Blu-ray they have the longer cut. I think it's still on YouTube if you want to see it. But John Wick 3, not so much Catwoman, but even The Last Boy Scout, always been a Halle Berry fan. And they do great work here. Nice to see Heath Ledger in it. This is around the time he was doing films like A Knight's Tale and 10 Things I Hate About You and things of that nature, well before The Dark Knight as Joker. Sally's not in it a whole lot, but still nice to see him there. Peter Boyle, definitely a different type, because I'm so used to him playing more kind of lovable characters, whether it be Young Frankenstein or the episode of X-Files, Clive Bruckman's Final Repose. So definitely interested to see him play a different, much more harsher, like racist character. And I thought the director did a nice job with the emotions in this film, where when tragedies happen, I really felt the sadness. A lot of these characters reeked of sadness. And this kind of nice little kind of love story that happens with some pretty heavy, sexual stuff. You do get to see a lot of Halle Berry. I will see that. Tits and all, so you do get that. I'll drink to that. But I just see, I do see some people going, yeah, I don't know if I really like these characters. But you kind of see what's going on in their life, and you don't like what they've done, but you kind of understand their environment. They get more into spoilers starting now. You see Billy Bob Thornton. Like I said, you see how his father's like. You'd even see, like, when he steers the kids off, he doesn't have, like, delight or glee with it. He's kind of like, he does it, but he feels like he has to because of his his family. And then there's a bit where his son, Heath Ledger, pulls a gun on him. He's like, "You tough now? You hate me, don't you?" And he goes, "Yes, I've always hated you." And then Heath Ledger turns a gun and shoots himself. And you kind of see, at first, Billy Bob Thornton's kind of just, I don't care about prayer, just put him in the ground, and you're cleaning the blood off the chair and all that stuff. But you see the sadness just reek out of him. Of shock, numbness, regret, where whether it be like, this kind of like montage mixed together of him just driving around or sitting in his car or going to diner eating chocolate ice cream, or kind of a state of not knowing where to go. Now, he never breaks down and cries. Some would say you didn't need that. I think part of me would have liked to have seen that. Maybe some people would think that was a bit too on the nose, but I would have liked at least one moment where he kind of broke a little bit more. But I guess some would say that the numbness was enough. And he even quits his job. He burns his uniform. I guess I wish there was just one moment where I didn't either he broke down or he talked about how good his son really was and he was wrong about it. Just a little bit more. I just wanted a little bit more. Maybe I'm just being too greedy on it, but I'm just being honest. And then you have Halle Berry's character where her husband or whatever, death row, he gets executed by electric chair. And then her son gets hit by a car, and Billy tries to help her. And Halle Berry shows all the emotions on her sleeve when she finds out that her son has died and just how out of it she is. And she does talk about her son and about how, he was always eating anything. Like, I'll bring chicken home and he just ate everything before I could even have a piece. But you see, like, her smile and then her just breaking down more and more. And then you see the humanity that Billy Bob has for Halle Berry. As in, he couldn't do it for his son. He feels guilty for it, so he's doing it for this lady. Until ultimately falls in love with her. Takes her home. Some natural bonding between the two. He had locked his son's door up. Now he lets it, because there's a point where he lets her stay there because she's evicted. I'll put this stuff up with my son's stuff. She looks at a picture of his son. Doesn't look like you. It's like his mother. But again, I wish we could have heard more of Billy talk about his son or talk about his regrets or just something a bit more. I wanted. That's one of my few issues with the film. But I thought it was a nice story about not only bonding, but two people who are broken, gone through tragic things that meet together and ultimately, together, are able to move on. Because what happens is, spoilers, Peter Boyle, she goes to see Billy Bob. Peter Boyle says some racist things. She walks off. Billy's, of course, is pissed about it. Eventually does put his father in a home. Tries to talk to her. Helps her out when she gets evicted. And there's even this one moment where she doesn't know at this point that he's one of the guys that took her husband to be electrocuted. But she finds these drawings that Diddy did. She's upset because he never told her. And it's kind of this notion of, what's she going to do next? Is she thinking, well, here's another guy that screwed me over. Here's another guy that is messing me up. This is another guy, another hope dashed. But then she kind of sits down, and I thought the ending was rather kind of poignant. Because she sits down and, remembers, like, during sex he was selfless. Only wanted to have her feel good. He didn't want anything in return. How he's named his gas station he bought after her, saying, I just stopped by our station. I really like the sign, which is her name. She kind of notices graves nearby, which is his son, I think his wife, and then his mother, I guess, because there's 3 graves. So I'm guessing one's his son, one's his wife, and I'm guessing the other's his mom. And she kind of relates to how they both have lost people and gone through tragic stuff. And without dialogue, you almost hear all this stuff even without dialogue. Like you almost hear what she's saying, and this is where Halle Berry, one of the many reasons why she deserved the award. Because she tells the whole story where she's thinking over her head, then she kind of smiles, and then he offers her some ice cream, and she takes it. They kind of sit next to each other, and Billy's like, I think we're going to be okay. Kind of nice, weird sweetness to it, of hope. And I like that. I thought that was rather effective. So it has really good performances, really nice emotional, poignant moments. I didn't feel bored at all. I thought I moved at a good pace. Definitely doesn't play it safe. Your characters are not angels. They're definitely moments that you kind of go, am I supposed to like these people? But again, they're flawed characters, like I mentioned before. And I guess, I don't know, when I heard the title, and I guess I assumed it was a different kind of movie. I don't know what movie I assumed, but I don't know, I guess I just assumed a different... I guess I didn't really look into the plot of the film when I first heard about the movie. When I first heard about it, I thought it was... I don't know, I guess for some reason I thought like Billy Bob was going to be the villain, or... Oh, Halle Berry was going to be like his mistress, he's cheating on his wife. I don't know why, I just thought of like a completely different plot. I should have just watched the trailer and just would have solved my problem there. I know we got some other award nominations, but Billy Bob Thornton never did not get nominated, which I thought was a shame. Because I thought he did a really good job. Like, you really feel the sadness flowing out of his bones after a certain amount of time. And, yeah, I mean, him being not nominated, I thought was a bit weird. I mean, Puff Daddy Diddy, he's in the film for a little bit. He does what he can. This is when he was trying to get into movies. Now he's trying to get out of jail. I don't think this don't work. But it was kind of funny to like watch it. Like, oh, there's Diddy in jail. How appropriate. Apropos. But yeah, this is a film I rather liked. I know for the guy that hates everything, yes, I liked this. I thought it was a really good drama. It wore his emotions well on its sleeve, and at the end, like I said, a nice story about moving on and that human connection. And definitely worth it if you've never seen it before. So with that said, thanks for watching. Thanks once again, Masi, for the requests. I'll get to your others as soon as I can. I know there's a few more. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.